Why are you laughing?
Because your video this week.
Why? What?
Oh, so kind of Kismet. And you should eat the butterfish.
Kismet.
It's Kismet, whatever.
And then also you should try the butterfish because that's the best thing here. It's like all woo-woo and then like, try the butterfish.
Who uses that word? Kismet.
You always say that about everything I say.
No, you don't always speak in Shakespearean.
Yeah, but guess what? Now you're going to be saying
Harvard
it all
law
the time
terms.
now.
I will not adopt that.
Yes, you will. You've adopted so many things that I say.
Kismet.
Giving is giving.
That's like a funny thing.
Adjacent
stuck.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say Kismet.
You just
Leave
did.
me a comment if you have ever used the word or heard of the word.
Okay,
Kismet.
I'm gonna be honest though. It's because Kamehameha does like word of the day every day. Like you're in high school every single day on the like news in the morning. They do a word of the day and it's always some like weird freaking like.
Yeah, but see,
nobody ever uses that. But we have to like it's like gets beat into us, and so we learn all these like words that like nobody uses.
You know what it is? You are like just articulate and eloquent enough that you could drop those occasionally. But don't act. Like,
Kismet. It's Kismet.
So anyway.
Kismet. I want to say.
That's another. I feel like that's a good rule. If you don't know for sure how to spell it, you probably shouldn't use it.
Nah, that's not true. You can say whatever you like.
You sure?
Yeah, if you know what it means. I think that's more important, that you know what it means as opposed to you know how to spell it. Like, whatever. I may not use that in like my emails. I'm not going to email somebody and be like, but.
Okay, guys, go to coreteamhawaii.com. Just like your transition from Kismet to Butterfish.
Yeah, whatever.
Go to coreteamhawaii.com right here on my screen. You could enter our YouTube there. You can go to sell a house, buy a house. Really, if we're being quite honest, all paths lead back to you contacting us. Mm-hmm. So instead of this 1998, 2003 approach to this website that, actually ours is super cool and super valuable either way.
Yeah.
But that's what they used to do, right? Make websites, there's a blog, but really the end goal, the monetization is when you contact us and we do business together. But we also have cool stuff.
I was just gonna say, like, if you're one of those people who are like Derek and Mahe, like it's a pipe dream for me, I'm not there yet. Go to the website because you can use this link, these hyperlinks here that Derek's kind of clicking on now, that are valuable to anybody who has interest in the neighborhoods and just the different islands. If you're like, oh, I don't go to the website because I'm not ready to do anything and I'm not going to contact you guys because I don't want to do anything, but you're somebody who's trying to learn more about the islands, which is probably how you found us in the first place, check out the website, coreteamhawaii.com, scroll down, use the hyperlinks for the different neighborhoods on the different islands. It's a useful tool. So I would definitely make use of that, whether or not you're ready to talk to us yet.
I'm texting a client that we're talking about him on live.
Why you make my face frame like that every single time?
That's how your face looks.
You guys just do me dirty all the time.
That's how your face looks.
That's just how your face looks.
So I told Adam that we're talking about. I don't know if you even saw your phone yet, but while we were working in the last half hour, Adam was like, "Are you guys very familiar with the North Shore?" I said, "In fact, Mahe is from the North Shore," and on our website here, you can click on these different icons and there's videos that aren't found anywhere else where you can hear us talk about Kaneohe, talk about Pro City, talk about North Shore. So for Adam, we should probably send him to this. Yeah. But in the end, go to the bottom, go to coreteamhawaii.com, fill out the contact form for buying, for selling, for real estate needs. We have questions lined up, but we have some escrow drama. I mean, a little clickbaity, but I'm gonna be dramatic about it.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise. But let's start with our agent review.
Okay.
Hey, shut up, Ken.
Surprise, surprise. Isn't that like a meme somewhere?
Kenji just messaged it to me, and Kenji's going to bring it on the screen. Okay. All right. So, Aiden.
This is probably, you were going to talk about this anyway, huh?
Yeah. Aiden and Mahe from Felix. Is this the email?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As updates happen, they let us know right away. It gives us a sense that they're right on top of it. We're closing soon, so that's about as positive as I need it to be. So, yeah, we're getting there.
Just got off the phone with him, too.
Well, so we're getting there. I asked you, is he sure he's okay? Because so we're getting there sounds a little anticlimactic.
Nah,
What's the
cool.
word I'm looking for? underwhelming.
Yeah, underwhelming. And then like if you don't know him or you're not in contact with him, you like may be insecure and think it's backhanded, right?
Yeah.
But no.
But I talked to Felix. But anyway, so on this escrow, Felix, here's your update. Oh no, you just talked to him. We just talked
to him. Yeah.
So this agent on the other side goes, "Hey, so I know the contract says cleaning, but we already cleaned, so we're good, right? We cleaned before we listed the house." And we're like,
yeah.
Like, no. Here's the thing too. So what the person's trying to do is not have their sellers or not have them themselves not get the house cleaned for our buyers, which contractually they're obligated to do. And I believe specifically professional cleaning was ratified on this contract. Mm-hmm. Now, there may be some agents who we know and they're like, Mahe, we had them professionally cleaned and you guys were the only showing. Like, you think your sellers would be cool if my auntie guys go clean them? You know, because I have the old receipt from 2 months ago and it's just kind of dust and horizontal surfaces. So would your buyer be cool with it? Because, you know, these guys are real tight and it's not that we're trying to play games, but it's just they're losing money already. And there might be a time to be...
There may be a time to be more flexible.
To be more flexible.
Like that. Yeah.
But I know this agent is not, if the roles were reversed, he's not like, yeah, no need clean. No. Hell. So don't try to play us because contractually you will have that property clean. So that's like the jump off that I'm immediately. And then in that exchange, which was more cordial than the way I'm presenting it, because Aiden's handling things, it was expressed that no, as per the contract, please have the house professionally cleaned. Then we get an email back and it says,
the cleaning's done.
Here's the cleaning receipt. Like a 2-month-old receipt, or old receipt, which was the receipt before listing the house, the one we said no to.
Here's my thing. If you had the house professionally cleaned before listing and you set the expectation and didn't put it in your contract or said no cleaning because it's been cleaned before listing and the buyer knew that and was okay with that, then that's one thing.
Counteroffer it.
Yeah, you can counteroffer that cleaning out and say, we've had it professionally cleaned, blah, 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 whatever. That's just not what happened.
And if I'm the listing agent, because here's the thing, I'm open to making, to someone like myself or my team might make a small mistake, but if the seller were prior to listing, hey, I'm not cleaning again, so make sure you make it so there's no cleaning, and you just either consciously decided to proceed with the wrong contract or the wrong terms, or
just missed it.
Which
can happen, but
then you fix it.
When you miss something, you pay for it.
And
that's your tuition.
And maybe even ask like, "Oh, we're good?" And then when the agent tells you no, you go, "Yeah, I mean, the contract's the contract. Fix it, okay?
Yeah,
fix it."
Yeah.
And then we find in association docs that house needs to be painted, or something. Association starting like
violation of something.
Violation, house will need to get painted. Not like you must paint it by X date or fines will ensue.
No, like something's there's already fines, I believe.
Okay, so in any sense, there's that. What we get back from this listing agent is, there's some fines, but my clients have already paid the fee. The board's just looking for money. It's really nothing. So we should be good to go. Looking forward to closing. Like,
yeah.
What makes you think you're gonna play us or our clients on a situation like? Because we're not posturing in a suit on our business cards and putting our face on golf carts or whatever, you think that we're gonna get the wool pulling over our eyes like this? Like, come on. So anyways, I just want to go on a rant because I figured it would be animated. It would make good TV. And this is how I talk, and in our backroom meetings, I was like, who the hell?
What the explicative?
What the? Yeah. So
to be continued on that.
TBC.
TBC, is that a thing that people say?
I don't think so. I think we just made it a thing.
Okay, TBC on that one. We'll update you next week on how that goes.
But it gives you a glimpse into how, so Tuesdays we do our meeting and then we come on and we go live, and that's kind of our routine. So our meeting involves going through all of the inbound clients who came in the week prior.
Covering all of our escrows.
Covering all of our escrow
whatever
updates.
whatever things need to be addressed, whatever reminders we have.
So in between those two, so it's going over the clients, then our social media. So we look at our short form social media stuff and kind of guide that and the posts that are being made and the little videos that are being cut. Talk about the social media related to upcoming and past just closed and stuff like that. Gotta do a little bragging, right? It's part of the business. And then the going over each escrow. Yeah. And this was the big part of this Tuesday's escrow meeting was, wait. So what? Like, slow it down. Yeah. What is he trying to say? Like, what are they trying to do? What are they leaving out? What are they brushing over?
Yeah.
And this was just in yesterday, right? So the timing, is perfect. Had this happen on a Friday, we would all still gather and do the same thing. We just may not do it in this setting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the escrow drama. You know what? I didn't prepare you for this, but we're going to get to some questions. Do we have questions that Charlotte sent?
No.
We didn't queue it up this week. But from last week, we still had, we didn't finish the last question. So we'll bring up the questions from last week that we didn't finish. And then I didn't prepare you for this. So you're just going to have to, on the fly.
Okay.
Don't move here if.
Don't move here if.
So mine is, and I thought of this driving a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Don't move here.
Oh. Okay.
If I let you in,
okay,
and you're not gonna shackle me back.
Oh yeah, immediately.
I immediately go to Brada Z. Have you seen those skits?
Yeah.
Shackle me.
Yeah.
So this comedian, he's like, he does these skits where it's just him in the car, and he acts as if he's talking to someone. He's like, "Hey, what Hawaiian? Everything okay or what?" No, because I just noticed I let you in back there and shackle you. You never shackle me back.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I felt. And this guy merges.
So deep.
He's wearing he's driving a Ford Escape.
Okay. Why is that relevant? Okay, continue. Go ahead.
Don't nobody drive Ford Escapes. I'm just saying. And I let him in. Gone. So I intentionally. You ever do that, Kench? You're not as like confrontational as me. But you let somebody in, they don't shock us, so you give them
I don't do that. I actually go, "You're welcome." That's what I do. Like,
I give them the.
No, but you know what I do like to do?
But I should have some more grace, because you never know what someone's going through,
Okay, but you could pull up next to them and see what they're going through.
You never shock me.
Yeah, like, okay, if they look like they have a heart, they crying, then I'm going to let them go. But if I pull up and they're singing something on the radio.
Yeah, that's true.
That's stink eye.
But you know what? Even in my darkest times, which I had some recently, right? My father passed. I still shock him back.
Yeah. It may be a sad chaka, and it's not an enthusiastic.
I mean, it might be I look down.
Yeah, but
I'm shocking him back.
It's about respect.
So, you don't have to go culture and go comedy, but don't move here if what?
Don't move here if.
Could even be you from one part of the island or one part of the state and don't move to the other part of the state if.
Ooh.
Which is
I feel like most of that's directed to us as Oahuans though. Like, I feel like somebody from Kauai might be like...
They already know if they would move here or not, right?
Yeah. Or like somebody from Big Island would be like, don't move to Big Island if you're from Oahu, if... You know what I mean?
If you're not from Big Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
don't move here.
Don't move to Big Island just because you want land or whatever.
Yeah.
And come over here and try make blah, 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 blah. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, I would say don't move to Hawaii. And this is like not culture. It's more like serious. And like I have friends who have phased in and out of Hawaii because of this. Don't move to Hawaii if you think that Hawaii is going to like change your life. Like if you think it's going to change your outlook on life, if you think it's going to change your internal struggle and your perspective, it's not. Like that's still going to be you. Your problems are still going to be your problems. But now you're going to be in Hawaii and you're going to be away from your support system on a rock in the middle of the sea where it costs a lot more to go back and see your people the failure rate of like living in Hawaii and being here long term for people who come here to get healed from the place. You lived
in Maui too, so
and I lived on Maui where I feel like there's an energy there that people like flock to and come to, and it's like Mother Maui and Mama Maui and whatever, right? So it has that like it attracts that sort of like person who maybe is going through something and like it's looking for a way to get healed by this land. Is Hawaii healing, and does it lend itself for you to be outside more and potentially be happier? Sure, but that's not going to be the case if you're coming here as an unhappy person.
There's a saying, wherever you go, there you are.
There you are. And that's still true in Hawaii.
Yeah, and you know what? There's something to be said about the not having your circle and your people. Because... I don't know, like you're going to make friends either way, just your personality. But I might rather live wherever. I might rather live Colorado with an amazing family and friend group than live Hawaii with none of that.
Yeah.
You know, and so if you're leaving something amazing, don't think that just like the smell of coconut suntan lotion and a Instagram picture from Coco Head's hike is going to make up for that family. Like those are the people we see leave. Yeah. Like Jessica.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, I can't take this. I want to go back to Sacramento.
Yeah. 100%. And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like if you are close to your family, don't move to Hawaii if all of your family lives on the East Coast and you've never gone more than 6 months without seeing your family.
Yeah.
If you are at every party, if you are at every barbecue, if that's something that's important to you, don't come here. It's like, don't choose to live here full time, because truth be told, it is hard to get off the island. It is more expensive. It takes way more planning, and depending on where you're from, and maybe, you know, your family, maybe you're not all wealthy, right? Like maybe your family can't come to you whenever they want to come to you because it's more expensive to come to you even. Yeah. Be prepared for the heavier lift that is living on a remote island when it comes to being away from your people and wanting to see your people on a regular basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go light again. Don't move here if you value eating out. I mean, commonly. There's like a place for this kind. But if you value good, ubiquitously good Mexican food,
okay,
Indian food, barbecue, not Hawaiian barbecue
for sure.
Like barbecue.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Chicken and Barrel and Wahiwa. And
you know what?
To
I actually just tried
Whiskey Smoke and Kaneohe.
I never did try
Shout outs to them. And I heard there's another one in town that's really good. I forget the name, but
see, now I just went to Tennessee, right? And like
yeah.
I don't think I've had barbecue.
You never really had real barbecue.
No, I've not had like real barbecue. Like even the barbecue
baked beans
I've had was like, you know, California even, which is like, that ain't it either. You know, like Hawaii ain't it. California maybe more than Hawaii. But like every freaking day I ate pork or something. You know, I was like
pork or
brisket.
What about baked beans? Did you have the baked beans?
No, I didn't. I had whatever the like cornbready stuff, but like not hush puppy, but
hush puppies.
Maybe it was a hush puppy.
It's like an andagi.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a cornbread andagi.
Andagi is a Japanese donut. It's like a fried ball of dough. Hush puppies. Comment if you know what a hush puppy is.
That's like
you had hush puppies.
Yeah, and just all of like the whiskey, which I don't drink, but like everything just.
The idea that it's like whiskey marinade is.
You
cool,
look up to the thing right over there, and you're like going through the distillery, you know, and they make it all right there, and they do everything. They make the pickles in house, you know, whatever. Like it was just, I'm like, okay, I would not have said that I like barbecue. Like that's not a food that, like, if you ask me what kind of food I like, I would never have said barbecue. I just never had it before.
Well, this ain't Mahi's food review, so back to don't.
Oh yeah, what were we talking about?
So you're hijacking our freaking real estate. Our real estate.
Anyway, Tennessee barbecue is pretty good. Don't move to Hawaii though.
Yeah, don't move here if you value having those kind of foods everywhere. There's American food, Asian food, and somewhat kind of sort of Polynesian food, but more just Asian and American.
Yeah, Asian everywhere. Fusion. That's pretty much
Asian fusion and American.
Yeah. You can get almost any kind Asian stuff, but
If you want to like pull up and get some meatloaf or like pull up and get like a pot roast.
Is that a thing? You can pull up and get like a meatloaf someplace?
A Cracker Barrel, yeah.
Oh.
Did you eat Cracker Barrel?
I did, but not in Tennessee. I did that when we went to Delaware.
That's like their Zippies.
Yeah, I know.
Or their Ririha.
It was crazy to me.
It's
like,
good.
I was like, you can tell this is like a regular place.
I love Cracker Barrel.
I actually did like it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you get?
A chicken pot pie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a little chicken pot pie. I liked it. Yeah.
There's like the rocking chairs.
Yeah, and like all the little games on the table. Yeah.
Golf tee game.
Yeah.
What that's called. I forget.
All
right, you don't move here if.
Don't move here if.
Kendra texted you.
Do not move here if you. Oh, like you're a person who like, I mean, maybe on Big Island or someplace else, but don't move here if you're like somebody who needs like a bunch of land. Like, don't come here thinking that you can get a huge property.
I loved going to Tennessee to hang at my dad's house to relax. And people think, well, you're in Hawaii. It's so beautiful. And it is. Like, you can go drive around from Hawaii Kai to Waimanalo, and that's, it's breathtaking. But to be in a routine in a really country place, like other than Big Island maybe, and it just be, you know, animals grazing in pastures and hills rolling and maybe a horse galloping and old men on their riding lawnmowers.
Yeah.
And that was my dad's favorite thing to do is cut the grass.
Were we just talking about that, about riding lawnmowers not being like a thing that you can...
You don't really know anyone in Hawaii who has a riding lawnmower, because if they have that level of house,
somebody else doing them.
They're not doing them.
Yeah.
So the greater point I was getting at is that when I would go to Tennessee and I would adjust after several days or a week, or that's normal. Like their normal life is more spaced out. It's more spread out. It's normal to have. It's abnormal to have houses close together the way we have them.
Yeah.
We are way more urban than our culture. Because our culture is what it is, we feel way more small town than we really are. We are actually way more city and urban on Oahu, especially. And having that kind of land and that kind of breathing room, and it just creates a different culture, a different feel.
Yeah.
You could be friendly with your neighbor, because when you're in the city, you got to kind of ignore them out of respect for space. When they're a quarter mile away, hey, how's it? Let me know if you need some sugar or some flour. You know, it's just different. And Hawaii still has aloha and a culture that is just the best. However, that middle America thing that's very charming, you don't get that here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, you.
That was mine that you stole.
Was it?
Correct.
Did she? Okay, the land. Okay, me then. Okay. Don't move here if I think rock fever, island fever is a real thing.
I was thinking that. Yeah.
My sister said she commented on our stuff.
She did?
Yeah. She's like, I love Mahi's tats.
Where is she?
But
oh yeah.
What she said?
Hi, Randy. Not related to what you're talking about, but I love Mahi's tats.
Oh, that's my sister. Yeah.
Hi, Randy.
Like she came here, and when my dad moved here, she came and she was just like, no, not for me. Like I want to drive to go do this in Baton Rouge. I want to drive to Nashville. I want to drive.
That's the thing. Don't move here if you like road trips.
Yeah, that's same like rock fever. Yeah. Because you got to fly everywhere you're gonna go.
Yeah.
I kind of feel it, you know.
I do too.
I get it.
I do too.
Really?
But you know what though? Like, I have never not gone a year without going to the mainland. Like, I've always had like a brother on the mainland.
No, when we were working together our first year,
that's like the 1 year that
like a whole year.
Didn't do it, but I mean, we were grinding, so I didn't really. I was flat broke, so I wasn't going nowhere.
Yeah,
but you know. I never really, it doesn't get too bad for me, because generally, and this is like, you know, back in the day when I had like no money and no nothing and single momming all by myself and like going through divorce, like my brothers have always like helped me and my kids, you know, like come see them.
Right.
Or, you know, I pay for the tickets, but they house us for free and we go Disneyland for free or whatever. Right. So like we've always been able to like get off of the island because I have people who live elsewhere. That's the other thing. Island fever, couple, don't move here too if you don't have people on the mainland where you can stay for free. Because when you want to travel and you want to go to other places, it gets really expensive. I'm planning Joey's Sweet 16 trip right now. We don't got no contacts in New York.
Oh.
So it's like, damn. Like,
I feel like New York is like going to another country. Like if you were going to go to Japan, you could hit up Kenji like, hey, let's plan this thing because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
New York is maybe, just as bad. Huh?
Yeah. It's a lot.
But more intimidating because you're way more likely to get mugged in New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Japan.
I've been on Reddit a lot.
Yeah.
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 So.
Do we have questions in the comment section?
Let's see. Don't move to Hawaii if you need 4 seasons and can't handle Santa on a surfboard. That's what Linda said.
Linda, when we first moved back from the mainland, my family and I, we were just not feeling that Christmas and fall. That fall into Christmas, we're like, what is this? It's hot. And we blasted the air conditioner as much as we could in the van. Yeah. We went to McDonald's and got like a hot coffee, cocoa. I don't know if they had cocoa, but yeah. And then we put on like a jacket and beanie. And then we like drove to Waikele to look at the Christmas lights, but couldn't get out because we'd sweat. So we tried to act like it was winter. It was just...
There's something like Hawaii's real cool, all of that. Like we have a lot of stuff that everywhere else doesn't, but like we don't get that like winter wonderland. We don't get that like we're festive and like if you celebrate Christmas, it's festive. People put up lights and stuff, but it's just like not the same. It's not cold.
You know what we should do?
We don't get to wear the socks.
Leave us comments in the comment section about what kind of creative videos you'd like to see. This isn't necessarily a question for like, I want to move to Eva. Please tell me about Eva, but like a creative video. I think we should, which we're long overdue, we order one of those microphones, like a true microphone.
Oh, like
and go around, man on the street, woman on the street, and be like, what to local people, local brothers, local sisters, you know, and like, what is Hawaii missing? Like, what on the mainland do you like that Hawaii doesn't have? And I think it's gonna be a lot of, what would people say? A lot of Disney. Yeah. Maybe a lot of Vegas, depending on who you talk to. Disney and Vegas, the 2 number 1 places people travel. Autumn, fall and winter, maybe. Seasons in general. I don't know that Hawaii people are like, I really wish I could do road trips. Road trips kind of suck sometimes. What? It's novel because you don't do it.
Yeah, maybe.
To sit in a thing and drive for 18 hours.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Kyle has that RV. I'm down. Like
RV is different.
Oh, it's not the same.
I mean,
what? That's a trip on the road.
I'm talking about like a Corolla.
Oh no, I'm not trying to do that.
Maybe
if I have this will get couch, get
maybe
bed.
like an SUV or something.
Maybe
That's what most people are road tripping. It's not like everybody on the mainland has an RV.
Yeah, but you could. You cannot even over here.
If I lived on the mainland, there's 0 chance I don't buy an RV or they call it like a 5th wheel. The one
I think that's what Kyle has, a 5th wheel.
He tows it with his truck and then detaches it and drives. Yeah.
5th wheel.
Yeah. But in that one, he got to be driving, so you cannot be in the back. I
can do whatever I like. I'm not driving.
Oh my goodness!
Get a bedroom, get a shower, get TV.
Oh my goodness! Or you just be texting him. You go.
Yeah, you can drive as far as you like. You tired? Okay, pull over. We both go sleep.
FaceTime him from the back.
How you doing, babe?
That's messed up.
I'm not doing. Well, shoot. You want me to drive the
no, but you sit in the passenger seat.
No, maybe a little bit. Probably not though. I'm laying down. I'm on my laptop. I'm FaceTiming him from my laptop.
I hope the attachment breaks on the interstate.
RV just flies down the interstate. Wow. Okay. Can there be a deposit in Bitcoin for a down payment in Hawaii to begin to facilitate the process of moving? How would the loan and rates be adjusted? Can there be more negotiation power for those?
No, I don't think. I think you have to convert your Bitcoin to cash and then give it to escrow.
Yeah, Hawaii also doesn't do, what do you call? Like if your income comes from your stocks, like they don't count that either.
As continued income.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, no, you can't do that. But give us a call if you have any other questions.
That would be a national lending guideline.
Well, they said Because I was talking to a client who said that some mainland banks can do that.
Jody, if your money comes from stocks or like regular dividends, is it counted as income? Dividends can, but if you're constantly trading, if you're a day trader, then no, right?
Well, if you are a day trader and you have 2 years reporting on your taxes.
2 years of winning. Yeah, depends.
2 years of winning.
Yeah. So yeah. So Kenja's listening. So she said, basically 2 years. If you have a 2 year precedence history of dividends or day trading and winning consistently, then yeah, maybe. But what else got on there?
Oh, sorry. I was looking because somebody else, when I was talking to a client about how they said some California lenders can count stock-based compensation.
No, but remember it's Fannie and Freddie. It's a national thing. They're national guidelines. And so if there's any differentiation, it's in like portfolio or non-QM loans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't move to Hawaii if you're planning on living a better life financially than where you came from.
Yeah, I was going to say that
for
earlier.
Most things, yeah, for most places.
It's just more expensive.
Yeah.
The exception would probably be the Bay Area, California, maybe New York. But for the most part, yeah, it's just going to be more expensive and not be as good here. Even if you're like a GS. So let's say you're you're a GS 13 in Colorado Springs. And if you're not military or government contractor, that's like a ranking in the civilian military world. GS 13 in Colorado Springs with the adjusted pay, which is downwards from Hawaii, the affordability. I don't have an index to show you, but I just know from doing this so much, the affordability is just so much greater there. You can get a nicer house, potentially drive nicer cars, and all of that with the GS 13 pay. Just publicly.
You can look it up.
You can look it up. Public information, publicly displayed, distributed. Is a better word I'm looking for. Public pay. Yeah, you get a little more cost of living allowance and an adjustment here, but it's just less affordable here.
Yeah,
and it's a sunshine tax, and the only comparable area is Northern California is arguably more expensive. If you live in like Palo Alto, Mountain View, San Francisco, the city, potentially like Alameda, places right around the bay itself. You can go outwards into Sac or Petaluma or, maybe Gilroy or places like that. And it's a little more affordable, but right around the bay itself, it's probably more expensive than Hawaii.
Are there like single family homes right in that area?
Oh, yeah.
I just can't picture it. Like when I've been to San Francisco, it's all been like all buildings and like.
You're in the city.
Yeah.
That'd be like going to Hotel Street.
Okay.
Or Lures or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I think the only thing we'll miss is large selection of Italian food. Coming from New York, it'll be a shift. But I cook, so no worries. And what's the pizza situation? Never found anything great on Oahu.
J. Dolan's. Look up J. Dolan's Pizza. I think, to foodies, that's the number one pizza place. I like Boston's Pizza, but they're from New York, so just the name alone might be offensive.
Yeah, right. No, I'm not going to eat that.
Yeah, Boston Pizza. Yeah. What kind of, is Boston known for any kind of food?
I don't know. I mean, I guess no. Is it? I don't know. We'll have to ask April and Felix.
No, we aren't. Actually, the Italian food, that might be the worst. Like, we don't have good Mexican food.
But we have more options at least.
But at least the Mexican food that we do have
it's okay.
is Mexican food. Like, they use a tortilla. They use, carne asada.
Tortilla.
Like, the Italian food that we tend to profess to be good,
it's not that good.
You're talking like Bravos?
Yeah. Hey, I used to love Bravos.
Of course you did. Yeah, Kenja, or like Ricardo's.
Yeah.
In Waimalu.
Or Buca di Beppo.
Asagio. Bro, I went to Asagio's recently, like within the last couple of years.
And what'd you think? Not good, yeah.
No, bro.
I used to think it was so good as a kid. And then I'm
I
like,
remember I'd take a date there.
I'm going to go treat my dad, you know, like, oh, I'm making a little bit of money now. We're going to go eat nice. And I was like, oh, it's just not even like, it's not even that good.
I can remember taking a date there and thinking I was doing it big. Like I was doing something.
Oh, because they came in and what? They made the Caesar salad by your table.
White tablecloth. Yeah, they dumping pepper. You know,
yeah.
I'm like 20 years old. They're dumping pepper by the table.
You're like, more, please, more. They're like cracking the pepper. You're like, yes.
The guy's forearm cramping. I'm like, bro, this is half my
Parmesan
paycheck.
cheese is like this high.
Yeah.
Like more.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't have good Italian here. And the pizza situation is there's Jay Dolan's, there's a couple places, but it's, I mean, you're coming from New York where you can just like walk outside and on a block just have, I have been to New York a few times. I'm going back with my daughter pretty soon. And I'm like not shitting you, like everywhere we went and just like randomly like stumbled upon. And it's like late at night. We're coming home at 2 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
Get a random slice. And I'm like, this is the best pizza I've ever had in my life.
And it's just a random.
It's just a random, like not even a, you know, like we just stumbled upon it. And I'm like, I'm convinced there's something in the water there that like makes the bagels better. Like any bread product. I'm just like, no, something's different about like the yeast here or something.
Yeah, I think the sewer rats, they emit some yeast in there.
They got their yeast is like top mark. Like,
is it really? See, I gotta go before I hate on it because everyone approaches San Diego Mexican food. Like the people from San Diego think that if you go like into Orange County or LA, like it ain't even, it's like that's not even Mexican food anymore. Nothing but San Diego, Tijuana Mexican food is Mexican food to San Diegans.
Yeah.
And I went there and I had the pastor tacos from Tacos El Gordo in National City. I'm talking like I went to the source.
Okay.
And it was good. You know, it's good. But it wasn't like people were saying. So I got to try these bagels and this pizza.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm a skeptic, you know.
And I'm not even like a person who loves pizza or like loves bagels, but like it was so good.
Have
even
you
just
been?
Like pretzels on the side of the road were good too.
Bread things?
Like all the bread things were really good. And you know what? Don't move to Hawaii if you like really love fresh bread unless you're going to make it yourself. Because we don't have like those bakeries that you just walk into. It can just get a whole bunch of bread.
Yeah, well, Kailua has one. I don't know anyone who knows like is eating it.
Yeah. But that's just not a thing we have here. Like we don't, you know.
Because we value rice.
Yeah. And also like we don't have like that deli game either. You know, like in like a butcher type, no, like a deli, like a butcher shop, you know, Kyle's grandpa was like a Butcher Bill, I think was his name, you know, like so the cuts of meat and the whatever, like we don't have that here either.
No.
Maybe you could find a duck hanging off a hook in Chinatown.
Yeah.
But
you could go fish market.
Yeah, you could go fish market, but
yeah, like, we don't value bread, and we didn't have like a strong farm and cow game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like when my dad lived south of Nashville, these meat markets, you go in, they have like the black leather. Yeah. You know,
like that's a profession that people know, and that's like a guy in the community that people respect and admire.
But you know where I got that? Big Island.
Oh, probably. Yeah. I would assume so.
Yeah. Because there's farms.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yes.
Kenj, have you been to New York? How was the bread and bagel game different?
Peruvian. Kenji had Peruvian food in New York, which he was like, Chelsea Market. We went to Chelsea Market too, which is just like all kinds of shit in like this little place, like all kinds of food.
Hey,
like
NSFW. I was gonna say that earlier.
All kinds of stuff. But like,
chill out.
hand pulled. Yeah, I'm talking about food, okay? Hand pulled like noodles, and you just watch them like make it in front of you and stuff. I'm like, we don't have that kind of stuff here. Like that's so cool. Like the experience of that. Like that's what we're lacking. If you like a place to go to like get that like a Chelsea Market or a Pike's Place or something where you can just have that like hub of just like cool like energy. Like we don't specifically have that type of thing.
The closest thing is going to like Chinatown.
Yeah, that would be like the closest thing.
Or going to Nico's. Nico's has the vibe, but it's not really that.
No.
Have you eaten Nico's?
Yeah.
On the pier? Mm-hmm. It gives you that sense.
Mm-hmm. But it's not. Yeah, no. Okay, back to some questions. Chico, aloha. We are interested in buying condo, but heard about the property insurance for condos. Is it hard to obtain? Great question.
What hard to obtain?
So I think
the info and the insurance, or is it hard to buy condos?
I think she's asking is that the way it's posed seems like it's is it hard to obtain the insurance? Is the insurance hard to obtain? So the insurance for inside of your four walls is not necessarily the issue that people are having right now. Obtaining that may not be the issue. The existing master insurance for the HOA is the issue right now.
Yeah.
And the issue is obtaining lending because of the underinsurance of the master insurance policy for the building.
Yeah.
So,
well, Aiden is actually, we'll probably do.
We got to do something.
We'll at least do another live in the next couple of weeks. Aiden was reading deeply into the governor's comments on the Hawaii's like hurricane insurance relief fund thing. And the
questions.
If you're thinking about buying a condo, time in the market is always better than timing the market. It's always been that the longer you're going to buy and hold a property, the better, right? With condos specifically right now, I'm more cautious than I've ever been. Well, I could just stop the sentence there. But I'm more cautious than I've ever been, especially on a short-term hold. If you're buying a condo to just keep it for 2 years, one, we've never been bullish on you holding something under 3 years. And knowingly, like a military person's coming here, they're only going to be here 18 months. We've never been the real estate professionals that are like, yeah, anything so you can buy, so we can earn a commission. That's never been us. But especially now, there's just even more cautious. The longer you hold it, the better. Do I think that if someone buys a condo right now, they're going to regret it in 10 years? Not generally. But anyone can find themselves. We can't know if an association's going to go to crap. We can't know if they're going to double and then double again the HOA and maintenance fee. You can vet it out to the best of your ability. The lender is going to look at the historical numbers and the current reserves and all of that stuff. You just can't know if they're going to have to replace all the plumbing in the whole building because it comes, come to find out there was a recall. Or you just have these tyrant board members who just manage the building in a poor fashion. So a single family home, I feel like I could bet my life on the fact if you buy single family, almost any single family in Hawaii, 10 years from now, you're doing great. I feel a little more like Russian roulette with condos. If I bet my life, chances are I'm going to be fine. But it's a condo. And there's a whole nother government entity that you're beholden to, which is your HOA. And that matters more than a single family HOA. So would I still buy a condo today? Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially, but depends
I'd be a
on
lot
my
more
hold.
scrutinizing right now.
A lot more scrutinizing, and I'd be underwriting my exits with more scrutiny as well. Scrutinizing inwards and yeah.
And then DL Mosa said, not just property insurance, the HOA fees are insane. So that's one thing to consider. If it's already, because insane to who, right? Some people are just like, some people 1,000 is too much. Some people 500 is too much, right? So whatever your budget is for whatever is too much. Another thing to consider is, because a lot of times these things are directly connected, is if that price is already high, if that budget for that HOA is already high, if it also, we come to find out and we know it to be an underinsured building, then that directly affects, or it can directly affect the HOA cost. Because at some point, what we are seeing kind of happening is that HOA can increase to build up the reserves and to, buck up that insurance, that underinsurance. So they're connected to one another. So that's, it's always important to purchase something that is within your comfort zone and within your budget to hold. But now, if you're looking and you're kind of like flexing your budget and on the higher end of your budget, it's important to understand, while we can't know everything, we can get an idea of if something is going to be like adversely changing soon by learning these things. So great questions. If you are looking into condo and you have more questions, call us. Go to the website, coreteamhawaii.com. I think that while it is like a widespread issue in Hawaii and all over, Florida, California, everywhere, I I think our team does a really good job of being as informed as we possibly can. And oftentimes, like, toot my own horn, toot our team's horn, like, we're a lot more informed than a lot of people are. A lot of our peers are when it comes to this. So, you know, we want to give you that information as much as we can.
We're in the upper echelons of everything that we do well. And so we'll openly admit, do we do buying land and developing well? No, that's not really our thing. And almost everyone who says they want to do it, they don't. It's a very specific thing. And if someone's watching this channel and they're like, well, Derek, I'm worth 20 million and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Are you saying you can't help? Depends. Maybe, maybe not. I might refer you to someone who might be a better fit. But the things that we do well that you see, you know, just close this and close that and all the things we're talking about, we're up there in terms of skill and proficiency. I have an anecdote. Unless we have a couple more questions, we can run through them real quick. Let's get to closing this up. But I have an anecdote on the condo thing. I went to the dentist yesterday, and the dental hygienist was like, hey, how are you doing? And I was like, oh, how are you? And she said, yeah, I bought a studio in May. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. We had a long conversation about it, I think, my last visit. And I was just kind of telling her, well, you know, if you had appreciated it at this rate and you waited. And I don't remember exactly what we talked about, but I know we had a long talk about it. And then she was like, hey, I bought a studio. I'm like, hey, high five. But I said, did you look into the association? And like, how's the insurance? And she said, yes, we did. And there was an assessment, but the seller paid for it. And I wasn't in the mood, nor was I in the position to like burst her bubble. But my reservation about that was it seemed so final to her. Like, oh no, there was an assessment and we had them pay for it.
Yeah.
But is there another assessment the next year? How short are they? You know, what do the reserve studies look like? How much will, you know, are they increasing an amount that causes them to not dip into the reserves at all? Are they increasing by an amount that both covers the insurance and fills the reserves with this assessment? The fact that there was an assessment this coming year and it was paid for by the seller may or may not be the whole story.
Yeah.
So just a little nuance on that topic of condo insurance. Any other last questions?
I don't think I saw questions.
Okay. Any comments you want to read out?
Sure. Tony
Tiger.
Is buying a home in Kapolei a good idea? Maybe. It depends. I mean,
well, we always start as buying a home for you a good idea.
Right.
But we're going to presume that you buying a home is a good idea and compare Kapolei to other areas. Kapolei, I don't have the numbers offhand, but Kapolei at one point was amongst the higher appreciation rates on the island. Advantage of Kapolei, ton of new things. You know, it's being gentrified. You know, the old Navy base of Barbers Point, there's going to be more and more and more things over time. You're really close to Ko'olina, the resort community.
You truly don't have to leave if you don't want to. It's
the second city.
Yeah, it's second city. You got everything you need there.
But disadvantage is Ho'opili, which is not Kapolei and not Eva. It's its own thing, but they're constantly building more. So if you're looking to exit in 3 years and you have kind of identical to what Ho'opili is selling, you know, it may or may not be anything. It may affect your exits because they could just go buy new in Ho'opili. When you say Kapolei, you may be including Makakilo.
Yeah.
We distinguish the two. But if I'm buying Kapolei,
it's Makakilo.
Chances are I'm going to buy Makakilo if all things being the same, can afford it.
Yeah.
Mehana's a cool community. Ko'olina is within that zip code, but it's a different thing.
I forgot that that's even in that zip code.
But if I'm buying the 96707 zip code, which is Kapolei, I'm probably going Makakilo if I can, because that's always going to be a unique, special thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else we're missing?
Linda, it's so important to read all the condo docs and many people don't do it. Agreed. Yeah.
There's a condo doc review service too. And so if you don't want to read them, someone else can help you read them.
Third party review. You can pay. You just pay a fee and somebody else can review it for you.
Yeah.
Let's Yeah. Eddie, to wrap it up, being an immigrant, living in Hawaii for 16 years now and working 3 jobs before, I think the key is to change my mindset and live below your means and be patient. Achieving my American dream, I have my house and 2 rentals and getting more in the future.
Wow.
Congratulations.
I was going
Eddie.
to, my mind was going, what's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say something counter to that, which is I found it in life that focusing on the defense of money, which is live below your means, don't spend, becomes a lot more challenging and progressively more challenging as you get older, as you have family. But pursuing more earning, side hustles, increasing your W-2 earnings in your primary job, that I found to be better. That's not for everyone, but you've done it, man. Yeah. Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. And then he says, thank you, Derek and Mahi. Help more people to buy houses. That's the goal.
You never meet someone who bought houses and had them for a while on their personal monopoly board and looked back in history and regretted it. Almost never. Asterisks, you might find a condo buyer who is like, shit, I got screwed on this association. I shouldn't have bought this condo. The worst cases of that I see are small buildings.
Less units. Less owners to shoulder the burden of the cost.
Yeah. All right. We're good?
Yeah, all good. Thank you, guys.
Hello, guys.